Hunger Games could have made Josh Hutcherson a Hollywood heartthrob, but he picked a way cooler career path instead. Josh Hutcherson has had a unique career, especially considering his starring role in the massive The Hunger Games film franchise. Based on the Hunger Games books by Susan Collins, the Hunger Games movies had just about everything working in their favor. The novels were giant successes, surpassing even Harry Potter in some sales metrics via NYT. Not only did audiences love them, but so too did critics, with NPR ranking the series number 2 on its 2012 list of the best teen novels. Suffice to say, the Hunger Games movies had a lot of pressure on them. Book-to-movie adaptations aren't easy in the best of times, and in the 2010s, magical and yay dystopian franchises were hit and miss, with series like Twilight gaining traction and others like Divergent faltering. Things could have gone wrong for the Hunger Games movies, but instead, things went impressively right. There's a lot to celebrate about the 4 original films, including Josh Hutcherson. Hutcherson, whose career primarily consisted of family movies until 2012, found stardom with the Hunger Games, but it was a strange path to get there. Josh Hutcherson plays Peeta Mellark in the Hunger Games franchise. Josh Hutcherson was announced as Peeta Mellark in April 2011, and it came as a bit of a surprise considering Hutcherson was not known for much beyond Bridge to Terabithia and Zathura via LA Times. Peeta is the deuteragonist alongside Katniss Everdeen, Jennifer Lawrence in the 4 films, and was reaped alongside Katniss for the 74th Games. He was a baker back in District 12 and harbored a crush on Katniss that was never fully reciprocated, in part because of the stress living in the district had on Katniss and on everyone. Peeta and Katniss pretend to fall in love at the end of the games and threaten to swallow poison together to rob the capital of its victor. The ploy works and both are announced winners, though Peeta is heartbroken when he realizes Katniss has faked her feelings towards him. Though he is still hurt, he continues to feign love for Katniss in front of the cameras to continue their front. When Peeta and Katniss are once again selected for the games, they hatch a successful escape with other tributes. However, Peeta is captured by the Capitol. In the novels, Peeta has his leg amputated and replaced with a prosthetic, while in the films, Katniss manages to save his leg. Tortured and with his mind altered by the Capitol, Peeta is used as a political tool to demoralize Katniss and hurt the rebellion. When he's rescued, Peeta is almost completely brainwashed and prone to attacking others, particularly Katniss, as his memories of her have been replaced, and he thinks she's a genetic mutt that killed his family and destroyed District 12. Over the course of the 2-part Mockingjay, Peeta slowly regains his memories, and in the flash-forward, he and Katniss have a kid together. Hutcherson's performance was roundly celebrated, and he was positioned as a breakout star. He's the most important character in the Hunger Games outside of Katniss, and maybe President Snow, Donald Sutherland. Peeta grounds Katniss and gives her hope that her life can eventually go back to normal. He represents the common people in Panem and shows what they're actually fighting for: peace, equality, and safety. Hutcherson's performance was roundly celebrated, and he was positioned as a breakout star. He even hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live in 2013, a gig that often signifies a performer's entrance into stardom. Post-Hunger Games, Hutcherson's career took an unusual path. With such a successful and acclaimed franchise under his belt, it was expected that Hutcherson would follow the usual action heartthrob path by appearing in more big studio movies and ensuring his face was as publicly known as possible. Instead, Josh Hutcherson's career took a different route. His post-Hunger Games career has been mostly in independent and lesser-known films, including some he took on while in the midst of his Hunger Games run. The Forger, The Disaster Artist, Future Man, and Burn are all lesser-known productions that nonetheless showcase Hutcherson's talent. It appeared that Hutcherson was content with playing supporting roles in interesting films, never pigeonholing himself in one archetype. It wasn't until 2023 that Hutcherson made his return to franchise fare, with his starring role in Five Nights at Freddy's as Mike Schmidt, a role he will be reprising in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, set for 2025. While it isn't the traditional career path, it's one that served some notable actors in similar positions well. It ended up being the right choice for Hutcherson, who has been able to dabble in some really interesting projects while still consistently working.